My chicken's exhausted. We're exhausted. We're almost there.
Close.
Falling to the finish line.
We are going to get there. We're getting there. We're almost there.
Who knew we'd be listening to polka for a year?
No one.
I want to share with you my Get Out 45 Advent calendar. There is only one more box.
Yay! Oh, we're almost there.
I would ask how you're doing, but I think that's fairly obvious.
Yes, we're exhausted and feeling relieved, and I will feel a lot better tomorrow at 12:01 p.m.
Cannot wait.
Wow, it's been a year.
I know. And most importantly, congratulations on the cookbook.
Thank you. I know.
Thank you, Holly. Well, today was the launch of the official GoFundMe. And as we explained last night, I'll probably be explaining this every night. But the thing is, and the reason why we have to raise money is when you're an author, you have to, and you use a publisher, you have to deliver the manuscript. And the manuscript for cookbook authors includes the photographs. And so we want to use the best person we could find, which is this lovely woman named Panina Meisels, who's famous and done all these amazing cookbooks. And so she, it costs money and we have to pay the crew. It's a whole big shoot. So, the food costs and all that stuff. So we would appreciate, listen, $5. $5. If you have enjoyed the last year with us, we would appreciate your $5 so much. Seriously.
Yeah. Honestly, if everybody gave us $5, we'd be done. But a few people have given us so much more.
Oh my God.
And we are blown away. Thank you.
And you know who you are, P.S.
Yes.
You know who you are. We just have a big hug for you right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so that being said, we are also want to share the experience of Corona Kitchen with all the people who've supported us. And so if you are interested in having perhaps a recipe in the book, we will be launching the recipe contest tomorrow.
10 lucky members of Corona Kitchen will get their recipes in our cookbook with us in special thanks. So, here's your chance. And of course, Holly is going to have many of her recipes in the cookbook that you've witnessed. Someone's asking about the link. So we can't click on it here, but we'll put it in the post again. But basically what you do is you go to the main GoFundMe page. And what do you put in, Debriana? You put in
Corona Kitchen.
Put in Corona Kitchen, and we're the first thing that comes up, and it'll say, bring the Corona Kitchen cookbook to life. So just click on that. It's easy.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, Hollie's here.
Maybe you can put it in the on the homepage somehow.
We'll put it on there, and we'll also put it in the post from this show tonight. So it will be on those comments.
It'll be on everything soon, so don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll find it. Well, Hollie, you're making brunch tomorrow. Yay! For the inauguration of Biden.
Celebrating the inauguration.
This is something that I love a savory breakfast. I'm not a super person to, in spite of my fabulous baking shows I've done with you all. I really do love a savory breakfast. Mm-hmm. And for those of us that have had blood sugar issues, it's really important too to have a healthy greens, protein, a little carbs for breakfast. It really helps with your blood sugar. However, we are going to be using pork and turkey in this sausage. So, it's not totally heart friendly, but
But it's gonna taste good.
But it's gonna be delicious.
Oh my God. Hang on, I'm having a dog issue. I'll be right back.
You can also do this with veggie burgers and that kind of thing. You can do falafel. So if you don't want to do the meat, you can also do it all turkey. But I have to say, we're going to do a pound of pork and a half a pound of turkey. So I am mixing a little, because all pork, I feel like it gets a little too greasy, and all turkey, it gets too dry.
Yeah.
So this was the happy medium. So you're going to feel like you're getting all the yumminess of the pork, but it's not going to be as much fat because you'll have some of the turkey. So we're going to make little homemade sausage, and you're going to realize how easy it is to make breakfast sausage. It's ridiculous. Then we're going to poach eggs.
My favorite way to eat them.
I love poaching.
I did not practice, so we'll see how this goes. Should be fun. And then always have a little green. So I always add a little spinach. I actually found some beautiful chard at the market. So I'm going to chop up some chard. And I did find a gorgeous bread also at the market. So we're going to have a little toast with it. So we'll have a nice little breakfast. This is little greens, little bread, little sausage, nice poached egg.
That sounds yummy for dinner. I would eat it for dinner.
Well, it is what we're going to eat for dinner tonight.
Because it's not going to keep till tomorrow.
No, we're going to eat it tonight. This is tonight's dinner. So anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing. And this is, if you don't want to do the poached egg, you're not feeling adventurous enough, you can just fry up an egg or scrambled, however you like your eggs.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be fun to try it. This is also a great start for Eggs Benedict.
Oh, yeah.
Since I did the crepes last week, and we went a little heavy on the cream and the butter. I thought I'd not do the hollandaise. We're gonna give our arteries another week of rest.
Yeah, rest. Rest the.
I don't know. Have you guys done hollandaise? You probably already have done it.
We did a mayo.
Yeah.
And I remember when I made the mayo, I said, if this doesn't work out, we're gonna have hollandaise.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it worked out. Thank God.
If you're feeling like this, you have to have Eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
For all the fixing. We're just gonna deconstruct it a little bit without the sauce.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start. So this is just homemade sausage. So ideally, and I'm sure Debriana has all this equipment, you would take the pieces of the meat and put it through a grinder along with the herbs so they'd all blend together, right? You have a grinder, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. But I've not done it on the show because most people don't have one. So there you go.
I want to get one. You can get one on your kitchen. Is yours on your KitchenAid?
Yeah, you can get it for the KitchenAid.
Attachment. I used to have one.
I know. Of course you did. So if you have those things, go for it. I already bought this ground.
But hey, that's what your hands are for.
That's what our Nana would have said. What? Just use your hands.
Let's use your hands. Squish it.
We're going to do 1 pound of ground pork. And then we're going to do a half a pound of ground turkey. Now, usually what they come in is about a pound. Usually that's how they sell them, already pre-made like this. So we're just going to eyeball half of this. This is
a measuring device. Your eyeball.
Your eyeballs are measuring. You can do it. I know you can. And that's our meat. So let me wash my hands really quick.
Okay.
I'm going to be touching
raw meat.
Mm-hmm. I have some ground raw chicken. I would use that too, if you have it.
Oh yeah, you can use, you think of kind of like meatballs. This is a similar, since I know you know a lot about meatballs. Okay. So,
just a little.
Just a little. So
my freezer's not a walk-in, FYI, whoever wrote that.
Some people think it is.
I know. It sounds like it is.
Okay. So to make a breakfast sausage, really the main flavor is sage. And I think I always think of it as being more complicated, but it really isn't. I just so happen to make salt that has sage, savory, and thyme.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
my holiday blend. So this is what we use on Thanksgiving turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing. In fact, I think we've used this one many times on the show. But it's perfect for this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to use a teaspoon of this.
Eyeballing is not a form of measurement, Holly.
Spoons. I'm reading the spoons. I got it. Okay. So I got the spoon here. So look, see, that's a teaspoon. So there's only one tricky part to making breakfast sausage, is that you have to make sure that the seasoning is sprinkled around. So you don't want to get some big old lump in one patty that had all the salt or all the flavor in. So it's really important that you take a moment. It's all on the wrist. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. See how hard that was? Okay.
Yes.
If you don't have my salt, you just need some sage, savory, and thyme. And you probably dried about 1/8 of a teaspoon of each. I also had some leftover dried sage from my garden. And I'm going to put an extra teaspoon of dried sage.
Everything here is dry as a bone. We need some rain. Anybody out there that wants to do a rain dance, please send it.
I might get some this week, hopefully. Okay, so this is, I'm just going to, because this was just dried whole, I'm just going to do that in my hands. Okay, so far we've done the salt with the sage, savory, and thyme. We've done a teaspoon of sage. Next, we're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon on one of these. 1/4 of smoked paprika. This is going to give a little smoky flavor, and this gives it a nice.
I love smoked paprika.
Me too. I put it in so many things.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, hi Jack. He just walked.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
So same thing. They can't see you. Got to come over here and say.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, so we take.
Teenager sighting.
Yes, he spoke. Okay, you only get monosyllabic words out of 16-year-old. So again, with the paprika, just make sure you've sprinkled it around, and we're going to use our hands, like you said, afterwards and mix this. But it's really important. You don't want to get like a pool.
Yeah, a lump of
somewhere.
smoked paprika. No.
So this is an optional ingredient, but this is fun for breakfast. Now, if you're doing these regular sausages for something else, you wouldn't do this. But we'll put a little bit of maple syrup. So we're going to do 2, and this is a good organic maple syrup from
Vermont.
From Canada.
From Canada. Okay.
Oh, Canada. Okay. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of that. Spread that around. Okay. One thing, if you choose not to use pork or a more fatty ground meat, you are going to want to add a little bit of oil. So if you just did this with turkey or ground chicken, you probably want to add a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil, just to give it some fat, and so it's not. Otherwise, they'll get bone dry like hot.
So someone's asking Holly, what is smoked paprika made from? So
paprika means pepper, and paprika comes from a variety of peppers. They originated in all peppers come from Central America and Mexico, and this was a new world discovery that was taken to Europe after the Europeans came here. So Hungary and Spain cultivated those peppers that were brought over from Central America and created their own varieties. So the Hungarians created a special variety called pepper, which we call paprika, and they're known for that. So if paprika says paprika on the jar, that means it's just dehydrated peppers and ground to a powder. If it says smoked, they smoked the peppers first, then dried them, then grind them.
Yeah, it has to me, it has a more complicated flavor.
God, she's a wealth of knowledge, isn't she?
That was a very long.
God.
That one I knew the super long answer to.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've grown the Hungarian peppers before.
I just think of Billy Crystal and When Harry Met Sally, Paprikash.
Yes, Paprikash. That is my favorite movie. Whenever anybody asks me what my favorite movie is, it's that movie, When Harry Met Sally. And I'll think of the other one, the title of it in a second.
Well, our younger sister Heidi, we call Sally because
Sally.
Like Sally. It takes her half an hour to order. But it's always really good what you put together. So there you go. One more thing, we're going to do a little bit of ground black pepper, 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I'm just going to eyeball that too.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what's in breakfast sausage.
That's
So
it.
that's it.
Okay.
Awesome.
So we're going to take clean hands, and you don't want to over.
This
You don't
is
want
the
to over.
grinder. Here it is.
Jazz hands. Or jazz hands.
You don't want to overwork the meat because it'll get tough. So since we've done a good job sprinkling everything around, we're just going to take it, and we really just want to make sure the turkey and the pork combine together.
Mm-hmm.
So just give them a nice little.
Holly, you're trying to send a secret message with pork and turkey. Outgoing president. Just saying.
Well, let's say the still current could be both of those things. Okay. So that is pretty much all you want to do. You don't want to give it, like I said, you want to be really careful not to over mix this because the you don't want it to get bound up too tight. You want it to be nice and loose. Okay. So we're just going to take.
We don't want to put it in a Cuisinart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that because it takes all the fibers and it stretches them and breaks them. And you want to keep this. Actually, if you have a butcher at your market and they'll grind meat for you, tell them to grind it for you and get a loose grind, not a tight one, so that it's not too heavy. So I'm going to do little like what's that the size of?
Like if you were going to do a biscuit, like a cup. Right? Yeah.
It's like this is probably 3 inches across, right? Hockey puck size. So easiest thing to do, I find, is just to make it into a ball, roll it into a ball, and then just flatten it a little bit. Just a little loose. You want it loose. This is homemade. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're not Jimmy Dean here. It's all going to be fine. Okay.
Jimmy Dean is probably so nasty.
Yeah, I've never had it, I don't think.
The most important thing to look in when you're buying this stuff is look at the ingredients. If you don't, you saw what it takes to make this. I just read you the ingredients, right? If it has other things that are really long and end in IZ,
methyl,
or
methyl.
Yeah. That's not what you want to be eating. There's nothing in there that's good for you. Okay. So we're just creating a cookie sheet here. And we're going to put all of these.
And nitrates. Have we ever talked about nitrates?
No, we probably should mention. Now, if your hands, just quick cooking tip, if your hands start to get really sticky like mine are about to do, just give them a tiny bit of water, not a lot. And that is going to help keep them a little more slippery so they don't get so sticky. Okay.
So Little Miss Sunshine is the other movie I love.
Oh, that's a great one.
Alan Arkin. I was telling Lisa, we just, my husband and I just watched the Kaminsky Method.
Oh, yeah?
With Alan. It was so good.
Yeah.
I didn't think
wonderful.
I didn't think I was going to like it or whatever. And we started watching it, and I have to say, Alan Arkin is so good in it.
I love him.
He lives here in our town.
He doesn't.
Does he really?
Anymore. I think they moved back to California.
Did they move?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was teaching here for a while. I was able to study with him when he was here.
Oh, wow. I used to see him in like a bookstore.
He's such a lovely teacher. He was here at Christmas, though. I don't know if he was here. They probably did it over Zoom. They did a reading at the bookstore, Collected Works.
Holly, do you have 2 favorite movies?
I have to clean this right now, so talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay.
You named 2, Missy.
I'm a filmophile extraordinaire. I've taught history of film. I love it so much. It's really hard for me to pick 2, but my number 1 probably on most days is All That Jazz.
Oh, yeah.
I adore. And it's really hard to pick because they're different eras. It's like I want to pick one from all the different eras, and I don't love a lot of the movies that have been made in the last. I like movies from the 70s for some reason. All my favorite films are from then. I love this movie called The Turning Point with Anne Bancroft and Shirley MacLaine about 2 rival dancers. Wonderful film.
Time.
Holly.
Okay.
Favorite movie.
It's too hard to say. I don't know. I have so many. I think one movie that I thought was kind of perfect. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I just thought it was a perfect movie. Was Pleasantville. I thought that was just a perfect movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Just it had the storyline and how it meant different things, interpreted things different ways. I thought it was fabulous.
There they are.
Patties.
2,
That's
4,
it.
6, 8, 10, 11. So you got 11 out.
11. So again, you can make them a little bigger, a little smaller.
So about that, you probably get about a dozen out.
This is an easy recipe to double or triple if you want it. The other thing is you can take these and you after you cook them, you can freeze them or you can cook them raw. I mean, freeze them raw.
Mm-hmm.
I won't have leftovers, but hypothetically, if I had leftovers, I would cook them and I'd put them in little like Ziploc bags and put them individually in the freezer so my kids can pull them out for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to attempt these eggs? Let's do it. All right.
People are just talking about their favorite movies. Okay. Somebody likes The Turning Point. Yay. Oh, Dirty Dancing. Good one. Can't
that was Gilda Radner's favorite. Gilda Radner said when she was very sick, that was her favorite. Okay. We're going to poach these eggs. I got to focus. So water temperature is 185 degrees. Okay.
Whoa, she's getting specific.
Which means I'm going to really try to do this right. Which means that it's not boiling. It's sort of like a simmer, right?
Yeah, if it's boiling too hard, that's a good way to break the egg up. It just goes everywhere. Yeah.
This is delicate territory right now that you're entering into, Holly.
So we're going to do a tablespoon of vinegar because there is, I'm sure, a scientific reason why that's important.
Well, it helps it congeal. That it keeps the white together, theoretically.
Okay. Someone saying The Princess Bride. Yes, I love The Princess Bride.
Oh my God, I got to hear that reading when they raised money for the Wisconsin Democrats. It was the best.
Okay, so we're going to put the egg in the ramekin. Okay.
Okay.
And why are we doing that? Because it's easier to slide in, and because we're gonna have one hand's gonna swirl and the other one's gonna pour. Okay. So we've got. All right, here we go. Now you take a slotted spoon.
Okay.
We are going to create a tornado in the middle of our pan here. Okay.
Okay.
Look at her go.
And then, wait, hold on. I want to turn this.
Yes.
I'm nervous.
All right. Tricky.
Are you sweating? Are you clammy?
All right, let's do it.
No
if it's failed,
no
pressure. 5 tries. Okay. Ready? We're gonna swirl. Then we're gonna drop the egg
in the middle of the
swirl. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Come on, little baby. I don't think the water's hot enough. Oh wait, we have congealing. Can you see?
It's awesome. I can see white stuff swirling around, which is the egg.
It looks like it does when you have like an egg drop soup,
which is not supposed to be what it looks like.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know.
I have an egg steamer. Some people have those too. Like it's like a little pan that goes over the steaming, and you.
Yeah, or there's a silicone cup
I have
that you can buy that.
Yeah.
That you can do. But you know what? At the bottom of all of this egg drop soup is actually a perfect poached egg. So we're going to let it cook. And I have to show you, I was visiting my sister, my other sister, Heidi. I was in this beautiful place in in Santa Margarita, which is a little town on the central coast of California. And this woman is a ceramicist, and she made these gorgeous plates and platters, this beautiful brown color with her stuff.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Heidi Peterson. So thank you, Heidi. This is her thing. So we're going to take, oh my God, it worked. Okay, it's working.
The thing about a poached egg is you can actually see if it's done the way you like it.
Yes. Okay. I would say this maybe needs just another second. So you can, okay.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to hold those?
Am I going to hold them?
Yeah,
with my
like
hand? No.
what are you going to do?
Plate. You put them in a thing of ice water, and actually that will really kind of make them hard. But I want to serve mine warm, so I'm just going to put mine on my plate for now.
Okay.
And when I put the sausage, theoretically, this should be what you do last.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was nervous, so you did it second. Okay. There you go. That's a poached egg, people.
You
Here's that.
did it! Bravo.
Holy Mary, we did it. Okay. Oh, I'm very proud of myself with that.
That's
okay.
like the night I made this
So,
play.
are you going
That's
to
a poached.
beautiful?
That's
Are you
a poached.
going to use the same water for the next egg?
I am.
Okay. Just asking.
Great buffalo.
How many are you going to make?
I'm just gonna do one more.
Okay.
Because that was lucky, but let's see if I can get lucky. Lightning can strike twice here. Okay.
Lightning strike twice.
Dun, dun, dun. We'll see. Okay.
Okay. So are those eggs room temp or did you just get them out of the fridge?
They're cold.
Okay.
They're cold. All right. So we're gonna create our whirlwind again here.
Here goes a whirlpool, or AKA tornado.
Someone wants to see it on instant replay.
Well, as we've explained last night, we do not have instant replay.
Not. Last night I got lucky that I didn't put an extra half cup of flour.
So here's the theory. Book
I love your bread.
show with real assistance and real production values.
Someday, people, someday. Okay, the bread, just as a sidebar, was I couldn't even keep it on the pan because they were just, I had the butter all ready to go and the butter knife, and they were just like, ah. I mean,
oh, great. So it worked on that with the ice cubes.
It did work in the cast iron skillet.
Great.
It was amazing.
Is that like the way people make biscuits and other breads in the skillet in a cast iron?
No, not really, because she used ice cubes.
We're talking about French crusty bread. Like if you want that artisanal, thick crust bread that you pay a lot of money for at the market or bakery, you have to have the steam. You have to have this really hot pan, and usually it's made in a Dutch oven, and I don't have one. So
don't talk about it.
I was looking into alternative methods, and it worked. That you keep a small skillet underneath it you put ice cubes in, and it steams, and I captured the steam in the photograph, and then
cool.
It worked. So
all right, this one worked also.
Okay, so we're good. This is a good method.
See, I took the edge off telling my story, so the focus wasn't on the egg.
So we are.
We have liftoff.
They're cooked. I'm gonna let this one cook just a tiny bit more. So you want them? I mean, I like them a little firmer. Like this one. So let's just go back to my one I made. See, when you touch your finger on it, bounces back a little bit. I mean, the yolk is still it'll be runny when you open it, which is but see, this has some bounce.
Personally, I don't like runny white. I'm not a sunny side up. I'm an over easy girl myself.
I'm definitely over easy too. Yeah. Another thing we have in common. Deborah.
Correct.
Okay.
It's the little things.
They are.
All right. So there we go. That's egg number 2. Okay.
Woo, did it. Oh my God. Dos huevos.
Happy chicken dance.
So chicken's happy. Oh, well, no, chicken's not happy. Chicken's the only one not
bad for the chicken, but
Okay, so next we're going to do the sauteed greens. Now, we're going to do this fast.
Now what are you doing?
Sauteed greens.
Oh, yes, really? Ma'am.
So this can be anything. This can be spinach, chard, kale, whatever you like. But this is a great way to start your breakfast. with a little bit of dark greens, because sometimes it's hard to put it into the rest of your day or whatever. But I feel like, if I can start the day doing it right, I'm in good shape. So this is a beautiful green chard.
Lovely.
However you want to
Double the pan.
So we'll just use a couple leaves here. And the easiest way.
Eggs? Of course, yes, you could use duck eggs.
Some people like the ribs because it kind of gives it a celery crunch. I sometimes think it's a little too much. So a very easy way to get the ribs out. Well, there's a couple ways. You can just pull it with your hands and pull it apart and just pull it off. Like that. Just pull along the rib, and there's the rib. Or if you have a very fancy knife and you'd like to show it off, you can fold it in half like this, where you just see
El sliso.
Someone is asking Holly, can you use duck eggs? Do they need longer to cook?
Yes, duck eggs have a much larger yolk per white part ratio in general. So you absolutely could use them, but they are going to take longer. But yes, the answer is yes. And you could do quail eggs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so this one
The chicken prefers that you use a duck egg, frankly.
The chickens vote for the ducks. Okay, so I just give this a rough chop. We're going to add a little olive oil.
Whenever I order eggs Benedict out, I usually ask them to give me spinach, sauteed spinach, and green chili. Hold the hollandaise.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay, so this is basically, we've just done a little olive oil in here. We have our chopped spinach. You can add a little onion. Garlic to me is a little too much in the morning to have that much in your chard. But a little bit, it depends on what you like. You can do a little garlic powder if you want.
She's moving it around with her hand.
So, I'm sorry. Since we're going to do the
we recommend
sausages,
just saying.
Well, if it's up high, you're not going to burn yourself. So since we're doing the holiday blend, which is sage, savory, and thyme in the sausages, we're going to add a little bit of this, just a tiny pinch to your chard. It helps it wilt a little bit. Now, if this were kale, I would actually add a little bit of water because like a tablespoon of water, because I do find a little bit of water helps break down the roughness of the kale, because sometimes that's just a little too much roughage in the morning. But the chard, spinach and chard, you don't need it because they're pretty.
Yeah, they have a lot of water themselves.
I have a whole method that I do with cooking kale, and I believe it's from Deborah Madison, where she believes in, especially if it's older kale, I guess this applies to people too, but you need to use a massage, boil it down a little, break it down a little, and with salt. Like she salts the water, you boil it, it's like you blanch it, and then it really makes it more supple because it wouldn't be otherwise.
Can we flash blanch?
You can, or you can just throw water in the pan like I do.
You can do it however you want.
However you want. But this can all, like I said, if this were spinach, it'd be done. But since it's chard, it takes a little bit longer. You just want it to kind of wilt a little. But it's really 3 or 4 minutes in the pan, and that's it. So now we'll cook up our sausages. We have our chard. We've got our eggs. So we're just going to kind of layer. Oh, and we have our really beautiful bread here. This is a sweet pie from a bakery in Berkeley. So we're going to cut this up. We'll have a little
beautiful.
Nice.
I have respect for bread bakers.
That's tomorrow. So you can whip this up and then sit down in front of the TV and watch the inauguration all day.
Yes. So that being said, we are not going to be on tomorrow night because we are inaugurating all day.
It's going to be an all day
on Thursday with our special guest, David Ferguson. So be on the lookout for that post tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah. So I'll cook these up and take a picture, and don't forget to go to the GoFundMe. Donate.
Woo, yes. Here, I will post that up one more time. Whoops, wrong thing. There you go. And whoops, please come to our GoFundMe site. That would be awesome. And we are grateful for all you guys. Grateful for our viewers. Yeah, tiny pinch. Tiny pinch. It's just a pinch. It's just a pinch.
A teeny tiny.
So the thing is, when you say pinch, it's not exact. So it's really to taste. And you can be a little more or a little less on either side, and it doesn't matter. That's really what the whole issue about a pinch is.
Everybody is
air on less, because you can always add more.
That's
everybody is on a salt, their own personal salt spectrum. Okay. When we go to our mom's house, I bring salt. Okay. Because I need to throw it in at the end when nobody's looking, because I need a little salt. But they think they salt their food, but they don't. It's okay. I love them anyway.
And that's why you bring the salt with yourself.
Fine, I bring my little stash of salt when I go over to the house.
And now they all know. They're going to be patting you down when you come in. Lisa, where's the salt?
Where's the salt? Is it kosher? Anyway.
Why does this always taste different when Lisa comes? It's so funny, Hollie. Behind you, I can see cars going by, and they look like orbs, like fairies.
It's because of my shape. My shape is kind of opaque.
Hollie's an alien.
We're high-tech operation here, people. Come on.
Well, thank you, everybody.
All right.
We shall see you on Thursday.
Thank you, Hollie. Don't forget to go to Hollie's Homegrown if you want.
Yeah, and
what you have tonight.
Check our Facebook page for the contest.
Yes.
For the recipe contest.
We would love to have you be in the book, everybody. It would just be so fun. You know, you might as well go for it. We have so many incredible chefs, home chefs, professional and otherwise, first timers, experienced people, and God, we're just constantly blown away by the incredible things people have made on this whole experience. So send it in. We'll be giving you the email.
Bring it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hollie.
Thanks, Hollie. Love you. Bye.
We'll see you guys tomorrow or Thursday. Thursday.
Thank you, Jesus.